Welcome to another Spotlight session. Today I am talking with Mike, who is one of the winners of the challenges from my Substack from last month. Welcome, Mike. So happy to have you here. Welcome.
Yana, thank you so much. Thanks. It's great to be here.
It's amazing. Yeah, I'm also very happy to have you here finally because you're so active. Like I think every month ever since you joined, and that's amazing. I really love to see such people like you. It's really amazing. And now I'm gonna ask you about your experience because I think people should take notes from you about how you approach Substack. It's really great. Right, but before that, just for because I'm sure that a lot of people already know you because of how much active you are in the community. But for those of them who are not don't really know you yet, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Sure, Yana. Mike Goitein. I am here in the Washington, D.C. area. I have a 9 to 5 job where I work in one of the top 20 banks in the United States. And I work on training, coaching, a lot focused on the product and discovery and delivery and strategy practices. And then in my publication on Substack, I focus predominantly on product strategy.
Great, amazing. Yeah, I also do this on the side, and it's kind of challenging sometimes. I really don't have the time to do all that, but then I have my custom GPTs that are helping me so much to actually manage to do this. I think it takes me about 2 hours per day, not much, not more than that. How is it on your side?
Yeah, it really depends. I think when I ship a deep dive strategy sort of breakdown, I think that takes a little bit longer. I try and do that, but I have like a content calendar and a content schedule that I adhere to, and that really helps me. I'm not automating as many of those things. I'm doing them, but it's in little pieces here and there, and I can do them in between things alongside. So people talk about work-life balance, but I would talk about work-life integration or like creator 9 to 5 integration, right?
Yeah. I always challenge that concept with our HR kind of people in our company because what is work-life balance anyway? I mean, when you go to work, what is it? Do you stop living? You're also living. It's just so you have to be
Hopefully.
you. So it's a one whole life where you have to integrate your private activities with your business activities, but it's all you and it's all your life, and it's you have to. It's not something else that you you have to find a place in your life like your work. It's not something that you have to something that disturbs your life. It's there to integrate exactly as you said. So um but yeah,
Well said, Yana. Well said. Like I've gotten some of my best work
yeah.
insights while I was out taking a walk.
Yeah, exactly. And also I find myself working, you could say that I'm working 24/7. I mean, maybe not when during my sleep for sure, but during the weekends and also my spare time, my free time, and also at home most of the time. And I still find some time to play with my dog and also to find some quality time with my partner, and also go out with friends from time to time. It's just because to me it's not work. It doesn't feel like work, at least not in the like negative connotation that most people attach to it. It's something that I enjoy actually, and then it's just how I live now. It's not work to me.
Yeah, I think even beyond that, Yana, what I would say for me, it's almost like kind of an obsession, but not in the bad way of
Yeah.
saying obsession, but it's like something I feel compelled to write and share and to take these ideas and form them and get them out there. And it's like every day I'm like, what's the next idea? How can I build on that? How can I create something from this?
Yes. It's the same. It is exactly the same with me. And also, I found myself to actually being able to integrate this writing type of activities on Substack with my 9 to 5 job in a very good way. And there, I feel that they complement each other. So I get ideas about my Substack out of my 9 to 5 job. And then I get ideas how to improve things in my 9 to 5 job because of my Substack, because I'm so much into automations and artificial intelligence. And also I test a lot about in the newsletter. Now I know so much about email marketing, which most of the corporations are not so good at it, So it's really beneficial to both worlds.
Good point.
It makes me remember, actually, there was one article I read, I think it was Harvard Business Review, I'm not sure. So they were talking about exactly this thing, that you, even if you have a 9 to 5 job, then you will have to do something on the side just because of that, because it gives you a sense of freedom and a different way to think about your job, so that you are financially not dependent only on one source of income, which is what's written in the big books of personal finance. You have to have multiple sources, and if you don't have, you have to build some. And then the other thing was that it actually complements those two kind of lives experiences, complement each other, and then make you grow faster, make you a better person after all. And then that's really great. So they advise to do so, actually, and not stay within just one job. So more.
Yeah, well said. Just continue learning and growing.
Exactly. Most people are starting something on the side with the idea for this thing to eventually replace their 9 to 5 job, but I think it's wrong. I think it has to work together, so to complement each other. And at some point, if it grows to a certain level, to be able to replace your main source of income or 9 to 5 job, then so be it. But it shouldn't be the first objective. I think, at least I think so. But yeah, unless you do it intentionally, of course. So
yeah. I think just on that note, like it depends on your time scale. I think some people start writing on Substack and it's like, well, in 6 months, I'm going to quit my job.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. And then, then in 6 months you have like 10 subscribers, I don't know, but you might have 100 or 1,000, or you might be really good. But I think, one thing is that just looking at that time scale differently and looking at it as something you do over time. And then the other thing, Justin Welsh, I think you're familiar with him.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Justin said that once your side thing, his rule of thumb is that once your side thing makes 80% of the salary of your main job, then you can think about going over and doing that and continuing to scale that. So that's just what Justin says. He has some good experience in that area.
Yeah, I know. I like him very much. And I also,
yep.
I remember what Nicholas Cole said about this. Do you know him also?
Oh, yeah. I studied under Nicholas and Dicky as part of Ship 30.
Yeah, me too. I took that. I actually won that in one lottery kind of thing. It's an amazing course.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So Cole said that that you have to. Yeah, that's one prerequisite that you need to have, is to have the income to cover about 3 to 6 months, and then maybe take that leap of your income. Actually, costs, not so much the income, but the costs of 3.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, good way to put that.
That you feel more comfortable about it. But yeah, let's stay on the topic. Let's stay on the
topic. No, absolutely.
How
do we get there?
Yes. Curious, how did you start your journey on Substack?
My journey on Substack began, I was studying under Tim Denning as part of his mastermind group. Yeah. And Tim was always an advocate of, you can be on different platforms, but the one thing you need to own is your subscriber list, your emails. Who cares about your information? And the only way to do that is on a platform like Substack. And so I didn't get it in the beginning. Yeah. I was very focused on the Medium model to begin with.
Yes.
And but I would say as the Medium publication has gone down, I would say Substack has really risen very strong. So it was a shift for me to go from writing on Medium to writing on Substack. But that was really why. It was really Tim Denning. Own your subscribers, own your list, know who you're talking to, and speak to them.
Yeah, that's a great point. And yeah, I also started first on Medium and then decided to move to Substack, but I didn't leave Medium actually at all. I'm still posting there. I think it's a great platform, regardless of what's happening there with the leadership
Right.
strategy. But overall, I think and I think they complement each other with Substack very, very well. Really.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So what do you plan? What do you want to achieve with your Substack?
Yeah, for me, Yana, my focus is to help people become more strategic and understand how strategy works.
Yeah.
And it's not a boring PowerPoint. What I do every week is I reverse engineer either a startup or like a product you use every day or a creator, somebody like Justin Welsh or Tim Denning was my last creator. And I delve in and I use the strategy framework to understand what are they trying to accomplish and what are the choices that make them successful. And these pieces take a long time to research,
Yes.
and they take a long time to write. But it's a labor of love for me, and that's why I feel I think anybody reading those breakdowns would get a lot out of understanding strategy, and they would also understand how to then look at their own strategy and improve how they're doing things and the choices they make, whether they have a startup or a small solo creator business.
Yes, definitely. Well, out of your experience so far, what do you think? Is that working? Does it help you grow your audience?
Yeah, it's interesting. Right now, I think I am still finding my audience, and I'm doing some cross posting, and another area that I work with is how to integrate AI into your writing process, because I've been writing as a journalist for like 30 years.
Really?
But
Another side.
yeah, I've been, oh yeah, a very long time.
Yeah.
But integrating AI in the right way into that process can really make your writing better, and I think it can also accelerate your ability to share. But for me, it's really just like finding the audience and finding people who need this kind of information. So I think I've had people reach out to me and just say, wow, this really kind of resonated with me and you really nailed it with this piece. I just need to get out there and continue growing my audience. I think I have just around 900 subscribers, just getting close to 1,000. So it's not too bad. I think it doesn't matter if you have 10, you want 20. If you have 1,000, you want 10,000. It's fine. I love all my subscribers. I'm glad they're with me and going on the journey with me. And some are paid and supporting what I'm doing and getting into those deeper dives.
That's great. That's really, really great. I think it's the best strategy to go, especially if you have at least, I mean, it's okay to discover and have this kind of a discovery journey for as long as you have a very good foundation for positioning, at least, which I think you already have. So, and
thanks, Yana. Yeah. That means a lot coming from you. You know your stuff.
No, I looked at your Substack, I think, yeah, for sure. Right. Can you share some growth strategies that worked? I'm sure that a lot of people who are watching this are very much interested into this.
Yeah, I would say my strategy right now is focused on two main areas. It's notes is probably number one. Yeah. Community is number two. Just being out there and chatting with people and being a person and connecting with people with similar interests and overlapping interests. So those are the two big ones, community and notes. The other one, which I touched on briefly, is cross posting. So doing collaborative posts. So I've had two opportunities, one with Joel Salinas, who does AI for leadership. And there's also Oral Zilberman, who's a fantastic young developer who's created a great app for managing notes called WriteStack. And we wrote a post together about his journey. And so yeah, I'm going to continue cross posting. I'm going to continue, connecting with notes and out in the community, and just continue doing the deeply researched and well thought through deep dives. So that's kind of the three areas. But bringing in new readers is really notes and community above all.
Yeah, I'm curious. Those cross posts, did they bring you new subscribers, or is it more like a collaboration type of activity? But do they convert in any way, like free subscribers, of course? Uh,
Yeah, I think the two cross posts have netted a few free subscribers for sure. I think the overlap between my audiences and their audiences, there's sometimes that's where I'm going to continue to work to make sure that like I can bring something to their audience and
yeah,
vice versa. They can bring something to mine. And I think just continuing to work and collaborate with other publications that have sort of a greater affinity between the audiences. But I think you can never tell where these things happen. Like somebody might have read my post, didn't click on anything, and then like later when I do something, they're like, "Oh yeah, I remember that guy. I read his post on somebody else's blog, and it was kind of cool." And so that I don't always look at it as an immediate sort of transactional thing where I can say, "Yes, I did a cross post and I got 10 subscribers." I do it just to kind of,
yeah.
to deepen my friendship and deepen just awareness in the community and across Substack.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Mike, what do you think about recommendations? Actually, you didn't mention that as well. Because for me, notes and recommendations are the two major growth levers on Substack. How is it on your side?
Yeah, and I have so many publications that I love so much, and so I think that recommendations for me has been helpful, and people have been very supportive and sending me readers, and so that's pretty much helped a great deal as well. But I think that started really strong and then kind of plateaued for me, and that's why I'm using notes. And I just want to call out, Yana, your notes challenge. I think really gave me a big boost. So just having to go to that Google sheet every day and say, "Did you post your 3+ notes?" And I did that, and I really noticed a big boost there. But yeah, recommendations is important, and I think just like there with the cross posting, it's focusing the recommendations to more overlap across audiences.
Yeah, maybe, probably you're right. But I think it's also an effect of what Substack is changing right now, because I also had such experience, and I also hear other people talking about this effect as well. So there was a point in time, and I think there were several actually points in time where recommendations simply stopped working, and we were getting pretty much zero subscribers. And at some point, I also got a moment I where some of my notes got 0 likes. That was not not very common for me. But yeah, I give that to. I mean, I think that's the changes that Substack did on the algorithm. So whatever they are doing and preparing for us, like I don't know, paid advertisements, paid recommendations. Hopefully, that's my vote. Hopefully, but whatever they're doing, it's affecting our growth. But overall, now it's restored. And I still I continue to get recommendation subscribers from recommendations as well. But I agree, like the thing that you call community, which is yeah, it's I think it's the most powerful thing that helps, definitely, even if especially if you are with a small audience. This staying active in the community and putting your profile in front of many eyes manually by commenting and sharing and talking to people and interacting with other people, and liking and restacking and then staying active in the chats and also subscribing and recommending, then this helps really a lot, for sure. What about some
Yeah.
challenges, Mike? Have you had some challenging moments on Substack besides my challenges? Not.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody does, and I think content creation is one of them. And I just want to call you out on how you've been leading in being creative and resourceful and forward thinking in removing some of the friction from content creation. I think the way I've done it is definitely having a content calendar,
Yeah.
Yana. That's been huge, and then having a writing schedule.
Okay.
Like I just get up and I what do I have to do today? And it's like a certain number of notes and posting and post generations and things like that.
Yes.
And so it's just following those things. And then, things just kind of happen. So it's when I have a problem or a challenge, then I design a strategy and make a different set of choices to get around that. So that's kind of how it's been working for me.
That's great. That's really great. Yeah. I don't have a content calendar. So people ask me how I organize myself. So how do I produce so much content? But it's really kind of I would call it a system. So once you get your positioning and your strategies like done and clear, and especially once you have enough offers to offer to sell, basically, then the content comes around them very, very easily. And you basically never get stuck about what to write about. All right. How about your Substack? So what it is all about? Can you share like more details about your topics that you cover and also your
Sure.
paid subscription benefits? So why should people pay you?
Yeah, no, for sure. So every week I do a deep dive and take either a product, and everybody uses Slack, everybody uses Discord, everybody uses, a lot of people use Revolut, all these products that people use every day. I take them and I deep dive, break down their strategy. What are the choices they're making? Why are they so successful? And then I abstract 3 takeaways from that strategy that then people can apply to their own creative business or to their own product if they're startup founders or work as product managers in an organization.
Love that.
And so the insights that are gained, so it's really the deep dive is it's like we're writing essentially like a Harvard Business Review article every week.
Yeah, it's actually very, very close. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, people should pay you for that. Much more than much more than just a Substack. But I think that's an amazing strategy, and also I've seen that working really well. I even think Tim Denning started like that. So it's a strategy where you talk about other people who are successful or companies who are successful, and then because you do that, and because those companies or people are already very popular, then your growth becomes much easier than compared to if you just start writing about, I don't know, your hobby, for example, because so many writers do that as well. So I think that strategy is solid. So I'm really curious to see how it grows on your side. But how much time are actually you are here on Substack? When did you start?
I started back, I think I've been here 2 years. And I just kind of initially had like, I just wrote about different things about one area that I used to write a lot about, and I was a recognized international authority, was on something called objectives and key results, which
Okay.
is a way of executing strategies. So I became an OKR expert and I spoke at a lot of conferences. So I wrote a lot about OKRs in the beginning and did that. But my experience in coaching and bringing OKRs to companies is that before you can do OKRs, you really need to focus on strategy. So that's where I've seen the gap. And also, a lot of teams, they're not ready to do OKRs, but everybody needs a strategy. Whether you're a creator, you have a startup, or you're a small team working in a business, everybody needs a strategy. And that's where I've been leaning in.
That's where you start, definitely, because if you don't know where you're going, so most probably you're gonna arrive somewhere else. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite quotes. All right. What do your paid subscribers get besides those posts? Do you have anything in addition to your deep dives, or do you plan to introduce something in the near future? Give them some, I don't know, insights behind the scenes a little bit.
Yeah, one thing I do offer to founding members is one-on-one coaching with me. And so Oral was one of my founding members, so he got some one-on-one coaching, and we're still working on some things there, and he's doing incredibly well. He's just doing great. The other thing that just paid subscribers get is obviously they get access to the full archive of all the material, and then we have a group, a chat where people can bring questions. And what's great about that chat is that there are people who come at it from a tech perspective. There's other people who come in from a design perspective, other people from a product perspective. So you get these different perspectives coming in and people asking questions. And it's really wonderful to see how the group works together and how we can take a problem and decode it together in those chats. And I also have, I'm going to be kicking off monthly sessions where we're going to be doing things like that. Plus, we're going to have a book club as well. We're going to take a book and decode it and go through it and get the lessons from that. So
it's going to be a book on strategy.
Yeah. Well, so different books that have been part of my, like, when I coach somebody, these are the books that I bring to them that they use, that we dig into, and that I use for training. And then so we'll just bring those to the community, and people will get the benefit of not just the book itself, but what are the important parts and what things to pay attention to and what to ignore.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, that's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be a great Substack. Hopefully.
Thanks, Yana.
Yeah, I think it's a solid strategy, really. I'm really curious how it grows. All right, so if you had to start Substack all over again, what would you do differently?
I think the main thing for me would be probably, I think I started my Substack and then I did my content calendar later, and then I did my work schedule, like my system, my process later. And I think I probably got my like the factory together before, like saying, hey, every week I'm going to publish these great pieces. So I've been really now like being forced, and I feel real commitment to my readers and my subscribers to create, just outdo myself every week and do something better and more interesting and deeper. And so I think having that system in the calendar out of the gate would have been really helpful. I probably would have done that. And I think as a creator, every time you say, like, I can do this, but I can't do that, I think if you challenge yourself, you can really do more than you think you can do. And I think you've seen that, right? And then, I think one thing I just want to put in a plug for Yana and her system and her GPTs and everything like that, because those are the kind of things that really make a difference, that you can do things that aren't normally possible. And so just say, hey, set that goal, and then set yourself a process and a system and a strategy to achieve it. And just, set a high goal and then go for it.
Yeah, I love that because if you set yourself a lower goal and a really easy goal, like easy to achieve, then you grow slow, basically. So if your goals are, you grow to the extent of your goals, basically, always. So if you aim higher, you're gonna achieve higher results, always.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, setting higher goals and having a system in place, I think those would be two things that I would recommend. And I think I would have done notes more out of the box. I think notes would have been, and I had, honestly, and to Tim Denning's credit, he was telling me a year ago, you have to do notes. And I only started really doing notes under you, Yana, and that was like, within the last, 6 to 8 weeks. So, and then just, that's when things start to take off.
Yes. They definitely work. And also that's why I created this GPT and trained it to write in the format of notes, because it's really, you cannot do it manually, at least not at that scale. And I know some people say, yeah, no, it's Yana, it's not about volume, it's about quality, it's not so much. But yeah, but I agree, but it's also about volume. So if you can do both, then you can outperform others and grow much, much faster.
Thank
So
you. I hope everybody caught that tidbit because that was an important one. Yeah.
yeah.
It's quality and quantity and just getting it out there. And then I think sometimes people are afraid. It's like, oh, this is my precious idea, and if I use this, then I won't have anything else. It's like the more you write, the more good ideas come.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, you just have to do the work and stay active. And that's,
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. But of course, you're very good at what you do. So that's, I'm just like learning a little bit from you, and it's really made a huge impact on what I've been doing. So I'm very appreciative.
Yeah, yeah, thank you so much. That's what I do. It is this, I come from my background and like transform it into Substack and help people who really want to grow and who are serious actually and committed, because there are some people,
Obsessed.
yeah, obsessed, yeah. They want
Obsessed.
also obsessed. In the good way, in the good way.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I was going to ask you about some productivity tips as well. But I think you already mentioned most of them. So besides your scheduling and calendar, do you have anything else that you think that you can mention?
Yeah, I think for me it's like it's almost like setting my sights, and this is going to be counterintuitive, but like I used to set these checklists with like 15 things that I had to do to build my publication in a day, and now it's really just 3 things a day. It's like, and so I think people underestimate what you can do. They overestimate what you can do in a day and underestimate what you can do through consistent effort. And so I always say I've got my top 3 things that I have to accomplish today, and making good choices with those top 3 things.
Yeah.
That's one huge thing. And then the other thing I would say is that sometimes you have to sacrifice some things. So I won't sacrifice family dinners or, spending time with family. But one thing I have sacrificed is watching TV with the family. So, it's rare that, when they want to watch a show, that is a choice that I've made that like they watch a show and they enjoy the show, but then I'm not interacting with them. We're just sitting in front of the TV. So I can go right while they're watching and focus and knock out a couple of things on my list. So that's a very conscious thing. And it's a weird thing because people do spend a lot of time watching and like binging and things like that. And that is a productivity tip. Absolutely.
I love that. I I don't remember actually since when I haven't watched the news on the TV, for example, or Netflix for a whole weekend. It's just when I started writing, I invested all of that time into my Substack, and it's really been amazing. And yes, you can
Yeah.
get the entertainment moment, and sometimes you can even learn some things from those shows. But actually, when you have that productive process, then it's really, and the feeling that you're building something for yourself, it's much more.
Yeah. No, for sure. For
Definitely,
sure.
definitely.
Yeah. The one thing I think that I wanted to point out is also that when you have that discipline, it like really allows you to it's like when you do consume, you consume very strategically.
Yeah.
So like just general consumption or just scrolling, like
Mm.
that's not as helpful. But like I spend time to read my favorite Substack writers, one of whom, by the way, is Yana, and and so you can pick up an idea here or there, and I dedicate time to strategic consumption,
Yeah.
not just like mindless scrolling. And I think that's a big difference, or like mindless consumption of like TV or news or things like that. And I think that's a bigger productivity tip than people would realize.
Yeah, yeah, it's huge. Yes, thank you so much for that. Definitely, it's a huge. I think a lot of people overlook that and don't really pay attention. But it's small, but it's very, very powerful to consume strategically. I think I'm gonna add that in the description of the post for sure. Okay, can you share few books, maybe 2 or 3 books that have significantly influenced your life?
Yeah. If we start from sort of personal impact, I would say the 7 Habits of Highly Influential People, Highly Effective People. That's Stephen Covey's book. I think that book has some very fundamental, very powerful lessons, and that made a huge difference to me. The other book that had a huge impact on me was definitely Playing to Win, which is a strategy book that was written by Roger L. Martin and the CEO of Procter and Gamble, P&G. That's A.G. Lafley. And they really talked about strategy in terms of things like that you see and use every day. So, like, one of the things we have in the house is a Swiffer, right? And I don't know if you know what a Swiffer is. It's like that. It's like kind of a mop, right? But it was a thing that, like, they used strategy to invent a category of product that never existed before. And so you can that's what business is. It's like taking abstract ideas and being creative and making something that never existed before that makes your life better. Yes. And that to me was very impactful. So I would say predominantly those 2 books, 7 Habits and then Playing to Win. I just think have been hugely influential for me.
Yeah, thank you so much. They're great. Yeah, I think I know them, both of them. It's really great. All right. Last question. I usually ask all of the people, and I really enjoy the answers of it. So I'm gonna ask you too. It goes like that. If money wasn't an issue, what would you do?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I would do exactly what I'm doing now. I love the discipline of having the 9 to 5 job. Yeah. And I meet with my team every day and we hang out and we do fun things. And I have these great conversations with people and I coach and I train and I do all these things. And I'm really motivated by that and very excited. And the things that I get there, I then bring into my writing practice. I would definitely write. I think if money were no object, I might, perhaps be writing from different places and like work from different places. But definitely, I'm really happy with what I'm doing now and the lifestyle and just, meeting with people like yourself and learning from people like yourself and growing my writing practice. It's just wonderful. So yeah, exactly what I'm doing now, Yada, but maybe one time at the beach, one time in the mountains, and then one time back here at home in the DC area.
That's an amazing answer. Actually, it means that you already are living an abundant life. So exactly.
I feel that way.
Yeah, it's really a great answer. Well, thank you so much for this session, Mike. It was really amazing, and I'm sure that people are gonna love it. We shared and we touched so many things about strategy and growth and everything about Substack and beyond that. So, I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for this. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Yana. Absolutely. Thank you for honestly, like the guidance and the direction that you provide through your publication and the way you kind of light a fire in other creators and get people to bring out their best. So you've been a huge influence for me, and I really thank you for everything I've learned.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Join me for a spotlight session like this. All you need to do is to join one of my monthly challenges, either notes or writing. Stay consistent and make sure you add yourself to the accountability tracker. Oh, and you have to be one of my paid members. If you complete just one of those challenges in just one single month, it's highly probable that I will select you for a spotlight session so that you can talk about yourself, share your personal story, and spread the word about your Substack so that more people will learn about it and hopefully become your subscribers. I distribute those sessions to my entire subscriber list on Substack, ConvertKit, NowKit, and my Medium account and my social media channels. It's easy to win those challenges, and all you need to do is just to stay consistent. I see you inside.